Let's run the fucking ball. Why didn't you just take a fucking knee?
This ends up on Pornhub. Sorry for your weird masturbation session.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the show. How's everybody doing? Excuse me. I was actually talking to them out there, Sarah. I wasn't talking to you yet. So how's everybody doing? Well, this is a little bit different. We know the NFL season is over. We started a new season. We're going to talk about the XFL, what we saw, what I think. We'll talk a little bit about it. There's really not much going on in free agency in the NFL, so I'm hoping to keep the show to about anywhere between a half hour to an hour. So the XFL started this week, and the thing is, everybody. Oh, speaking of that, now that Sarah kind of ruined it for me. You didn't ruin anything. We got Sarah and Bobbitt with me. Coop was not going to be here tonight, so hopefully next week he'll be back. So how are you guys doing tonight?
I'm good.
Good. I hope you guys enjoyed watching games this weekend.
I did.
Hell yeah.
I thought they were really good.
Okay, what did you guys think?
I liked it, actually. I found it was really highly entertaining. The game was just like it went faster and it was more smoother and
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
I liked the kickoffs. That was
The
cool.
kickoffs, I like the kickoffs. I was skeptical. I'm like, why in the fuck are they standing on the 45 or 35 or 30? Was it the 30 or 30? Yeah, it was on the 30. I'm like, why are they standing on the 30? And then I went back and I remembered they can't move until the ball is caught or touched. Once the ball is touched, then they can go. And it negates the onside kick, and it negates the touchback. Because the touchback is fucking boring. And if it does go into the end zone, which you've seen a couple of times, or if you punt it out of bounds, you automatically get the ball on the 35-yard line, which I like. I mean, you're... Huh? 30. 35. So I like the move. But in a sense, it was football. Was there anything outrageous that you've seen watching these games? About the most outrageous thing was the bright colors of the uniforms. That's about the most outrageous thing. And even that I didn't like. I actually like the colors that they had. I like the color schemes.
Yeah, the one guy punched the guy. That wasn't. I think it
Well,
was
that's football, though. I mean, you're going to see that. You see, what's Myles Garrett?
They tossed him out right away.
They tossed Myles Garrett out right away too. I
like the instant replays. That was cool. The replay.
I do like the replays. I mean, the guy with, I think it was the Dallas game, he was breathing into the microphone. I'm like, get it off your fucking nose, dude. I don't want to listen to a guy breathe for fucking 10 minutes.
Oh, come on now.
That punter for the Battlehawks is good. Marquette King.
Well, he was a good punter when he was in the NFL.
Very good punter, yeah.
We'll talk about each individual. I mean, from what I see,
Yeah,
I watched all of them. I was impressed. I'm going to tell you right now, if they would have done this type of football back in the 90s, back when they started, it would still be around today. I can almost guarantee it. It would be around today, and we'd probably have 16 teams, and teams might actually want to players might actually not want to go to the NFL. I don't know. What could have been?
Yeah. I didn't see anything outrageous either.
It was football. It was football. It wasn't like, it wasn't. Oh my God.
I like the fact that they talk to the players on the sidelines, the
Yeah, well, that
coaches. That
you
was
actually
cool.
get to hear. You actually get to hear what play call is. Oh my god! You actually get the. They did have one person get fired though. Pepper
Yeah, the
Yeah, I
Johnson,
saw
defensive
that.
coordinator for
and
the
I
Wildcats.
don't. That's almost. I actually tweeted out. So if one guy got fired after the first game, oh my god! It's hard to do a show when you got a 1-year-old yelling. It's not Heather's fault. You just shut this fucking kid up. But anyway, I'm gonna give you my fucking opinion, Trek. Shut the fuck up. Um. So I don't agree with the. I don't agree with the guy getting fired after one game. That's stupid.
That doesn't make sense.
That's almost worse than. At least in Cleveland, they give you 1 year.
True.
So the first game was. What was the first game? It was DC and who?
Seattle.
Seattle.
Seattle. That what was this, was that a blowout or the other game was blowout?
I think
The
the
other
Houston
game
game was a
was.
blowout. The Houston and LA game was.
Yeah, but the Seattle game that was actually pretty close, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That and the Battlehawks in Dallas was pretty close too. That was a good game.
But we'll get there. We'll get to it because I got something to say about that, and you're not gonna like it. But hear me. You'll have to hear me out. That first game was really close, and that's what really got me intrigued. Because I like low-scoring, hard-hitting games. That's football to me. I don't like this. I didn't like when the Rams and the Chiefs scored fucking 105 fucking points in the game. Was that last year? The 54-51 game last year. I don't like that shit. I hate it. I like defensive football at its finest was played in that game. The the St. Louis Dallas game, offensive, or Dallas Dallas St. Louis game was really good defensive game. Um, I like what they're doing. The first game was people are probably going, this is boring because there's no offense. You got to remember this is the first game of the year. They've only had 40 practices, so it's not like they've had a bunch of time. And you could see the level of play was a lot lower in the NFL, but these guys were trying. They weren't lazy with anything they were doing. They were all over the field, man. I loved the passion that these guys played with. It was beautiful to watch. It was more beautiful to watch guys fumble around than watching these superstars whine, piss, and moan because they got touched by a fucking defender. You didn't see any of that. I didn't see any of it.
No, I thought it was great.
Yeah. So the first game was a little slow. The second game, the
Roughnecks, LA
Houston
Wildcats.
Roughnecks and the LA Wildcats, it's a pretty good game for Houston.
That
LA, and
quarterback was
that's the
good.
coach. The coach from LA, Pepper Johnson, got fired because they gave up 38 points. I think it was like
Something
38
like
to
that.
17
Yeah.
was the final.
Yeah.
It was a blowout. It was a blowout.
That quarterback
I think
was great for
I
the
think Houston is the best team in the league. They are really good, defensively and offensively.
the New York Guardians looked really good too.
Yeah, I mean, but I don't think Tampa Bay is very good. I think everybody's
That
injured.
quarterback looks terrible for Tampa Bay, Aaron
Well,
Murray.
that's because I wouldn't say that. I think a lot of that, watching that, had a lot to do with the pass rush for Dallas or for New York. New York's got a relentless pass rusher, and
They have a good
mine's.
quarterback too. New York does. Matt McGloin. He's pretty
Mm,
decent.
I mean, yeah, he's all right. And I think the real quarterback didn't even fucking play this weekend.
Landry Jones.
Yeah. That's why that game.
It
That
would have
game.
been a different story if he was
Oh,
playing than that
I
game.
don't think St. Louis would have won. He was there. He's a different level of quarterback. He should be in the NFL, in my opinion. He's that good. Plus,
PJ Walker did a pretty good job for the Houston Roughnecks. He did a pretty decent job.
and he's not even their normal starter. From what I
No,
heard, or is he?
I think he is the starter. PJ Walker is.
I don't even know half the players. I just how people could have odds on this game. I don't know because how can you gauge a team? That's the only problem that I had with this is how can you place bets on something that you can't really gauge from? These teams are evenly matched. I mean, Tampa Bay is probably the worst team in the league, but I could
Trust
see.
me,
Go ahead.
JP. If there was competitive sock throwing, they would find a way to make bets on it.
I know. I'm just saying. I don't.
The Battlehawks look pretty decent. They're not bad.
But again, I'm going to tell you this: Landry Jones wasn't playing, and I'm telling you right now, it would have been a different story had he been playing. He's that level of good. He makes the guys around him look good because he
I think
did
he
it.
would be a good solid backup in the the NFL for sure.
He was a backup and left because he was a third string quarterback because they had Ben
Oh, yeah, in
Roethlisberger.
Pittsburgh. Yeah.
Oh, they had what?
I think he played in Pittsburgh.
Yes, he played in Pittsburgh. He's behind Ben Roethlisberger and fucking Mason Rudolph for some fucking reason.
Well,
Mason
Mason
Rudolph
Rudolph's a
sucks.
joke.
Well, he's better than Landry Jones apparently.
I don't
I
think
don't
so.
see how, but
Well, I don't know who the fuck that was, but they just put this is bullshit on my fucking somebody coming in here trying to be me. Like I'm gonna say this is bullshit. Okay, fucking idiot.
What a troll.
What a dumb shit. Anyway, um, so eh,
They have a good coach, the Dallas coach. I like him, Bob
Bob
Stoops.
Stoops, he's a great coach. Thank you, Trek. I already hit him. What the fuck are you doing?
The New York Guardians coach is good too, Kevin Gilbride. He's a good coach too.
Yeah, we'll see. He'll figure out a way to fuck himself up.
Pep Hamilton's pretty solid for DC Defenders. I liked Pep Hamilton.
Yeah, I mean, most coaches are good. They wouldn't be where they are if they weren't.
No,
They're
I
just
agree.
better than others. Um. So yeah, I actually just give me a second. Keep talking, Sarah.
I think the Tampa Bay Vipers, I don't know, that they need to do something. That team just looks terrible. Like seriously. I think they looked about the worst team in that league, to be honest.
You're surprised. Trek put in her. He's surprised FX isn't showing games because FX is a fucking movie channel. Trek. Why would FX show games?
No, it'd be like FS1 and Fox that would show the.
FS1 doesn't even show games.
They do.
They didn't this past week.
They will this weekend. Apparently, they're doing one or two of the games. So it's either
No,
usually on
no, no, no.
ESPN or
Okay, Trek.
Fox.
Trek, let me tell you something. Your big disparity when you're saying that FX is a bigger channel than FS1. Really, it's not. FX has never put a sporting event on their channel. They put SmackDown on there.
Yes, they have.
Who? What? What?
NASCAR.
No, well, okay. Like let's just put that on the fucking back burner. That's what they think of fucking NASCAR. They
True.
showed again arena football. Let's put that on the back burner. Arena football is dead. They went under.
Yeah, it's no longer in
They won't
service.
put something that they paid that they are infusing money, big time money into on FX. They won't do it. They'll put it on FS1 because believe it or not, FS1 is actually getting bigger than FX. FX shows the movies, FS1 shows all the sports.
Yep.
That's why they created FS1. So that they didn't have to take away from FX to Trek. God damn it. Listen to what I'm saying, dude. They showed baseball, yeah, because they had to, because of the playoffs. One game ends, so as soon as that game was over, they put it on the other fucking channel. It's
Just how it
because they
is.
own the fucking, they can do whatever the fuck they want, but they don't normally put fucking sports on FX. Jesus Christ. What don't people understand? So, yeah. But I don't see them putting it on FX. I see them putting it on FS1, and that'll be that.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's usually on Fox, ABC, or ESPN. That's usually where they're on for the
Yep.
XFL.
Yep. But the
I
games,
like Greg
go
Olson
ahead.
up in the booth. He did a great job.
What's that?
Greg Olson, when he was calling the game on Sun, he did a
He
really good
wasn't too
job.
bad. I actually enjoyed listening to him. He
I
talked a lot about tight ends. I'll tell you that fucking much. Jesus Christ.
oh well. I actually think that the Olsen's going to the XFL.
Greg Olson, he is an announcer on the XFL.
Yeah, for Fox.
He's retired from football,
Oh,
Bobbit.
yeah.
He's retiring from football. See, we're oh, XFL, their ratings came out and they weren't too bad. They actually did quite well.
Nice.
They did better than the AAF, I'll tell you that much.
Way better. Well, the problem with the AAF was the way the game. They were protecting the players way too much.
Well, they didn't have enough financial backing. I think that's another.
No, they were financially backed by former players, which former players don't have that much fucking money. This is financially backed by, and the report coming out that fucking Vince McMahon was losing $500 million. Well, yeah, because he's the one that's fucking funding the fucking league. So of course he's
Duh.
gonna lose $500 million. He's got to fucking pay for it somehow. He just don't happen. I mean, the NFL has to pay to run their league.
Andrew Luck's dad's done a great job as commissioner. And
He was actually interviewed during one of the games, and he was talking about it. Troy Aikman was interviewed. In fact, Troy Aikman said, "I think that the NFL should adopt some of the ideas that the NFL is doing." Now, for that being said from a Hall of Famer of his caliber and what he does, I can
a
wholeheartedly
lot of the
agree with
players
what
were watching. A lot of the NFL players were watching, and they thought it was really good. Actually, they were really impressed.
again, Troy Aikman. I value his opinion because he is a former player. He's an announcer for the NFL. That says a lot right there. That if this is why I think the XFL will be around for a while, and the NFL might actually get in backing them by saying, "Hey, we'll help you expand." You know what I mean? Help you
Yeah.
expand
Yeah.
without and it would work. Some kind of partnership would work. And then I've heard, and this is funny to me, is the XFL the NFL's AEW? No, it's not.
Mm-mm.
No,
Two different. How is WWE? How is AEW going to transcend or how is AEW going to transcend WWE? It's not. Everything in fucking wrestling has been done. You can't go any further. In fact, I encourage you to watch the thing from fucking Undertaker that is in the Cold Bone Writers Room if you're there. If not, let me know. I will ensure that you watch it, and that will tell you exactly how I feel about wrestling today. What Undertaker says is exactly how I feel about that crap today. It hits it right on the fucking head. You do a flip, everybody wants to see you do two flips. You do two flips, everybody wants to see you do three flips. Where do you go from there? The nuances of the sport are fucking dead. For football, you can expand it. You can adopt some of the ideas from what is WWE going to adopt from AEW? Nothing.
nothing.
Nothing. Nothing. Absolutely fucking nothing. Why? Because they've already fucking done it. So why would they adopt something that they've already fucking done? That makes absolutely no fucking sense. So that's how I feel about that. But NFL, I think, could learn a little bit from the XFL, especially with the kickoff rule, which I love. I like how it is where they stand there, you cannot move until the ball is caught, and then you can go. I like that. That is a pretty cool little tweak to the game. Other little tweaks to the game to get the game moving faster. The clock continuously moves. I didn't see the clock stop, even on incomplete passes. Inside
Yeah,
of 2 minutes it does, but outside of 2 minutes it don't. Kneeling, there's only two timeouts. Each team only gets two timeouts per half. I like that. It moves the game
I
along.
think the NFL should do that because they don't need 3 timeouts.
No, teams don't even, the teams that are ahead don't even use fucking timeouts. Ever. You never see them use a fucking timeout.
And I liked the fact that the kickoffs, it was more for player safety, which is smart too, you know?
Right. The refs in the XFL, I mean, they had some calls that you could say were questionable, but they didn't do too bad of a job.
They actually did a really good job,
And
actually. I thought they were,
to be honest with you, they're college football refs.
yeah, they looks like for some of them are from like the Big Ten, I noticed, you know, from the Big
Well,
Ten. And
they all were. They all were college football refs. But the difference between the NFL and the XFL is the rules are so concrete. I don't see the rules changing. They might evolve. But right now, all the NFL did was add to the rule, not evolve it. They've added to it.
Mm.
So what's a catch? What's a football move? I think every move is a football move. What the fuck does that mean? Right? You're on a football
right.
field.
Right.
You made a football move. I think it should just 2 steps. In the NFL, is good enough for maintaining possession as long as he's not bobbling the ball. And in the XFL, it's 1 foot.
It's like the college rule. It's like 1 foot as long as you got 1 foot.
Yep. But the difference between the XFL and college is you can get up and move.
That's true.
So that's where the difference is. The play clock inside of 2 minutes stops for the game clock stops for 5 seconds, and then after 5 seconds comes off the play clock, then the clock starts again. I like that rule. it moves the game along. The game moves along, and it is much more fluent. So,
I like the extra points. Those were kind of cool. That was
I
different.
like that I like that they still have kickers for field goals, but they don't have them for extra points. You can't kick an extra point. You have to go for 1, 2, or 3 points. And I didn't see anybody try for 3 this past weekend. I seen a couple of teams try for 2.
And they were conservative for this first one, testing everything out.
I think the first week of the season, except for aside from the Houston game, teams were, and that's just how I think how bad LA could possibly be. That they are testing each other out, and two, they're even teams. I mean, there is not one team that is better than the other. I don't think really. It's going to be an interesting year, but I'm looking forward to it. I enjoyed it. The ratings were up for it. Nowhere near NFL type ratings, but they were up. I mean, I looked at the Super Bowl ratings. Almost 100 million people watched the Super Bowl. Almost 100. That tells you a lot about what people want to see today.
Mm-hmm.
Football.
So, I mean, basketball doesn't even get that. I haven't
No,
seen
nowhere near that.
baseball doesn't even get that. So yeah. How's that working for you? Pretty good? Yeah, shut Other than that, let's go to the NFL. There's not really much movement. There's nothing going on. The only thing that I seen that was of importance that doesn't really concern me, and I think it's personally laughable, is that Minnesota hired Dom Capers as a defensive consultant to their team. I'm sorry, but why are you hiring a guy that is so out of touch with defensive football? Dom Capers is so out of touch. He is so far out of touch with defensive football. Unless he evolves, he's not very good coach. I don't know what good it's going to do to hire him. Because the problem isn't defense. The problem is the offense.
I agree.
So I don't understand the thinking behind that. But whatever. It's not my money and I don't care. Ziggy Wolf is
Colts hired Mike or Groh as their receivers coach, the former Eagles offensive coordinator.
who?
Groh, like Mike.
Who hired who?
The Colts hired him as their wide receivers coach.
I don't even know who the fuck he is. Okay.
He was the Eagles offensive coordinator.
Yeah? What's up, Pice? Yeah? I mean, yeah. How much going on in the NFL right now? When does free agency start, sir?
March 18th, but you can tamper starting on March 15th.
Tamper. Well, you can't tamper.
Yeah, you can it's like legal tampering.
There's no such thing as legal tampering.
You can start talking to players and sign contracts.
I think you can offer. You can
Yeah,
start
like
doing
offer
offers.
contract. I call it the legal tampering period. That's what everybody calls it in the NFL, but whatever.
Yeah, no, it's calling putting offer sheets out there, and then the pack or who, like if Aaron Rodgers' contract was up and he was an unrestricted free agent, a restricted free agent. So restricted free agency starts March 15th. So what happens there with restricted, this is where the difference is. An unrestricted free agent, you can offer him when the free agency starts, and a team can't they can offer him more money. But if a restricted free agent is one where a team offers a guy a contract, and that team that really doesn't want to lose that guy because they just put him out there to see what the market is for him, they then have to match that offer sheet. And if they match that offer sheet, then you either have
Yeah,
to
Taysom
sign.
Hill's a restricted free agent for the Saints, so they let's say the Patriots offer him, let's say $20 million for 2 years or
Mhm.
whatever. Let's say the Saints come back and say, okay, we'll match that. Then the Saints get their his rights basically.
They have his rights, and then if they want to
Yeah,
trade him, they trade him. That's how restricted free agency works, in a sense. I mean, there's a little.
unrestricted means you could sign anywhere. It doesn't
You
really
can do
matter
whatever, and the team that you played for the prior year has no.
unless you're franchise tagged.
The franchise tagged doesn't mean that he's going to play.
No.
Le'Veon Bell, ring a bell.
Yep.
Ding,
So,
ding, ding.
um, so there's that. Um, so that being said, you gonna say hi to everybody?
Hi.
You gonna wave? You gonna wave hi? No, okay. Just gonna headbutt me. Yeah. So, what are you doing? Looking for me. Oh, she's taking over the show. Now you wave. Such a little shit. Um, but other than that, I don't see anything else happening. More towards free agency. We'll start talking about where we think players should go, what players need. I know that there's mock drafts going around, and I can't even remember the website. If you want to try to, and I'll see if because I have a couple of the guys that follow me on Twitter that we follow back about Packer fans that have a mock draft where you can go pick your team, and then you can pick players who you want, and then it just does a mock draft. It's actually quite interesting. Yep, Heist, this is Wendy. But anybody got anything they'd like to add? Bobbit?
No, other than go Battlehawks.
Yeah, yeah.
That's right. That's right, Baba. Go Battlehawks.
Oh, and we can try to do the picks again.
This is probably the only time that me and Sarah agrees on a football team.
Yeah, pretty much. I
See.
don't mind Carolina and Green Bay, by the way, guys.
Well, I hate to tell you this. I hate Indianapolis.
Oh, I know you don't like the Colts. It's like it is what it is.
I mean,
This as long
I
as you know.
I like the Colts a little bit.
All right,
I mean,
all right. Here
I
we
don't have
go.
any ill will towards them.
All
It's like a
right.
love-hate thing, it is what it is.
Yeah.
So this week's games, week 2 games. We have the first game, which is at 1 o'clock Central Standard Time on Saturday. The New York Guardians taking on the DC Defenders. Taking on the DC Defenders. We got
I think I'm
Bobby.
gonna go with DC.
Okay, Sarah, since you're now Bobbit. Who you got, Bobbit?
Uh, I'm gonna go New York on this one.
Heather?
I'm
It's in DC.
gonna go with the defenders.
I'm gonna go with DC. I don't think New York is great. I think they're good. But the
They have a decent quarterback too. DC does. Cardell Jones.
yeah, I honestly don't think that who did they played Seattle last week, didn't they?
The
DC.
Defenders, yes.
Yeah.
I honestly we'll see. I like Cardell Jones. He might be another face of the league because he's a young guy. Um, I'm going with DC just because, like I said, this is a crapshoot with these games because my God, so
Who
much
knows?
parity. There's parity. The two teams that probably got beat by the most points, the Tampa Bay Vipers, are taking on the Seattle Dragons.
You want my subject?
Hobbit. Tampa Bay
I'm gonna go
probably.
Seattle.
I'm gonna go with Seattle as well. Tampa Bay
Seattle.
is. I don't think Tampa Bay is very good.
They don't have much of anything, either offense.
They have a good wide receiver, but that's about all they got. They just.
Seattle.
I'm gonna go with Seattle. Heather, you want with Seattle too?
Yeah, Seattle.
Next game, Dallas Renegades versus LA Wildcats, and Landry Jones is back. That game,
Renegades.
yep. I'm going with the Renegades. I think Dallas is actually the best team in the league. They just them and Houston are the two best teams in the league. I think that Landry Jones makes that much of a difference, and LA is terrible. Bobbit.
I'm going Dallas.
Okay. Then we got the St. Louis Battlehawks versus the Houston Roughnecks. Houston scored 38 points week one, and they have a very high-powered offense.
I think I'll go with Houston.
Going with Houston as well.
Yeah, I'm going Houston as well.
Heather?
I gotta go with Houston on this one. They
Okay.
had the better showing for the first week.
Yep. I can't disagree. Cannot disagree. We're just doing the picks for fun. So you guys can just pick. Just keep track of your picks. And I know, yes, I totally agree, Heist. The first week of the XFL and the way that they did it, they replaced it, was perfect because it was 1 week after the Super Bowl and it hit its marks. It's going to be interesting to see because Takeover is this weekend, and I know the WWE fans are probably going to be like, wrestling or football, wrestling or football, wrestling or football. I'm probably going to watch football because I'm more of a football guy than I am a wrestling guy anymore. So
I'm
We'll probably
becoming more
have
of a
both TVs
football
going anyway.
better
Once
than
the
wrestling
yeah, we
anymore.
will probably have both TVs going. But what? Say it again, sir.
I love football better than wrestling anymore, to be honest.
I've always loved football better than wrestling, unless I go to a wrestling tournament where high school wrestling or college wrestling is on.
I watch
That's
Iowa wrestling. Iowa's got a really good wrestling
yeah,
program.
they're ranked #1 in the country this year.
So
We beat Penn State 2 weeks ago, which I haven't watched that match yet. Penn State and Wisconsin.
it was good. The Iowa Penn State matchup
I
was really
watched it.
good.
I watched it. I know it was good. So
Both those coaches are good coaches, actually.
yeah, I mean, it is what it is. I don't like either of them, but whatever. And yeah,
I was looking at a mock
they
draft
might
that
lose
they
a
have
few
Jonathan
heists,
Taylor
but
in first or
we have
second.
to. Yeah, they might lose a few heists, but I'm thinking that people are. If it's football, people might actually watch football. We'll see though. This will be That's why I said it'll be an interesting weekend. We will see though. Now, what'd you say, Sarah? I'm sorry.
I think that I was looking at a mock draft, for
Uh-huh.
NFL, because I've been watching a lot of the mock drafts,
Yep.
and they have like Jonathan Taylor going like in the first or second rounds of the draft.
Yep. They do. And we'll get into that. He's not he might not go in the first round, and I'm okay with that. He's not
I
needed.
think him and DeAndre Swift are the best running backs in this class.
Mm, I think Jonathan Taylor is far and above the better running back. I don't know why DeAndre Swift is rated higher than he is, because it makes no sense to me. I think it's
No,
just
I don't
because he comes
either.
from the Big Ten and DeAndre Swift comes from the SEC. So
So I think the Big Ten's better, just as good as the SEC, to be honest.
it depends on who you're talking about. I mean, I wish I could agree with you on that because I'm a Big Ten guy through and through, but that's tough for me to say that you're right on that one. The SEC, for some reason, always gets those players. They
I
just
guess the
always do.
LSU hired Scott Linehan as their passing coordinator.
Scott Linehan?
Yeah.
Is that other guy took the offensive coordinator? Didn't he take the offensive coordinator job, or isn't he a head coach at
Yeah,
Baylor now?
Carolina. Yeah.
Oh. All right. So, anybody got anything else they want to add? Heather, Sarah?
No,
Okay. Well, I want to thank everybody for showing up. I know it's a short week. There's really not much going on as far as the NFL and the XFL. This was the first week, and we've really only got to touch the surface of it. We'll watch more, and I have been paying close attention to the referees, and I can't give them a bad grade because it is their first week. We'll see. We'll see down the road. We'll see down the road. With that being said, we'll talk to you guys later. Have a great night, and we will see you tomorrow night for NXT,
all
not
right. Have a good
AEW.
night, guys.
Have a good night, everybody.
Bye.
She doesn't even get a chance. She doesn't even let me say goodbye to her. She just it takes off. Ugh.